Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Wardle Road. I apologise for wearing my hat backwards. I've already burnt my neck as I've been out in the sun all this week. But in today's video I'm going to be showing you a little update and sort of the rough track plan of what's going on in the O Gauge Garden Railway. Please do enjoy. If you do enjoy, please give me some feedback in the comments. I'm always looking for ways to improve the railway if possible. I was meant to have a new loco arriving soon, but I believe Rails of Sheffield Postal Service is a little bit behind at the moment, so hopefully that'll be here in the next few days. But other than that, enjoy the video and I'll see you in a second. So welcome to a extremely messy garage at the moment. As you can see, we've got all various types of saws and stuff out. I've been using the pillar drill as well. And if I bring you down here, I'll just pan across. Find a good place to put you down here. You can see the chairs that we've started making. And as you saw from those previous clips, well, a lot of them are in place already. And it's quite simple really, it's just 3 bits of wood, countersunk screws and nails tapped in at the end. Nails I'm using are from Wicks. They're quite long. They've got a bit of a head on them, so they do actually stay on the ground. It's quite hard to get them back out once they're in. And what we've been doing with these is making up various sizes. I think these two are the style. They're slightly different, but dependent on the ground below it, it varies dependent on the level of the ground. Through the piece that I haven't showed you yet, through the area of land that I haven't showed you yet, is the sort of the countryside area, and they'll actually be sitting on these flat things because the soil is fairly level. So the track bed will actually be sitting on these slightly larger sleepers with just a single thing. There's no need for them to be raised slightly like this. So I've got a few of them made up. Got plenty of tops to the chairs pre-made and pre-drilled, ready to go. And as you can see, I've got a whole selection of the single ones as well. So it's a bit of a factory in here at the moment, but let's get back to outside. Here we are on probably the sharpest curve or the sharpest corner of the O gauge, and as it comes off this bridge here, which is fully detachable as you'd have seen in the previous clip, it then veers round here under this hedge and across the summer house steps. So I don't know if you can tell too well from this angle, but it's actually a slight decline down to the bottom here of about 4 centimeters. So we're slowly trying to sort of create a decline using the little chairs. As you can see, these ones here are unpainted at the moment. You can also see underneath the rough track plan. Tim from FMR did actually let me know that all set track curves from O gauge are all second radius. I did try looking up some different radius curves, but I believe this is all you can get. So this is probably close to 7 foot edge to edge of each of the circle, half circle. But if I just show you here, you've got to imagine it with a piece of wood on top. If I put a level across that, you can see there. Show you from above, it might be better. That is perfectly level at the moment. So that's the aim, is to keep it level up here, but then as it goes around this bend, slowly lower it and lower it. Only 4 centimeters, which isn't much, to the end of that bridge. So this is the first section that you just seen from the Facebook video clips. which we were working on. Originally it was just meant to be a siding, as I had this point to hand, and so to use it to filter in and out wagons and carriages and stuff. But then we realised we can actually fit a third piece in between these two. So a third piece of this wood in between underneath, which ended up being the perfect width for a bay platform. So we're now just working on the top to get it up to the right height of the doors, and a slight overhang on each side as well. This still needs painting, but all of this is wired up. So obviously I've used insulating rail joiners on the frog to stop any shorts, as even in O-gauge you still get shorts on the points. And yeah, when that changes direction, because it's an electrofrog, the current follows through the rail, stops here, so I've then soldered a dropper here to the outside rail, as Charlie from Chadwick does, black to the back. And that's how the whole thing's going to be wired up. As I say, the height of the platform is going to come up roughly to the bottom of the door here. I've still got another Lima coach on the way to join up to this, but this platform can hold 2 of them and a loco comfortably, which is more than I really need for this size layout. This was also my first time working on O-gauge buffers, and I didn't actually realise that in the kit, they come in 5 pieces, so one each side of that, and this top piece, and they actually clip underneath, so you actually have to join them onto the rail. Well, for me anyway, the way I was building this siding, the track actually stopped here, so I had to add an extra bit, which made it a lot easier to build the buffer, as I could just build the buffer onto this piece of track and then join it onto there. But this is all stuck down now, so should anything hit this, which hopefully it shouldn't, yeah, I'll stop it going off the edge. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do about painting it yet, as it needs to be exterior paint, as it's going to be permanently outside. As you can see from this clip here, my original method of holding the track down was these cable-like pins, things you use to stick under baseballs and stuff, which I've now used to hold the dropper wires coming off the frog. I've still got to add a lot of sleepers here. There's still plenty of gaps that need filling with sleepers, but as you can see down here, I've then gone for pilot holing the sleeper and tapping a nail into the wood, and it keeps it from moving left to right, whereas this is a bit more flexible. So following on from the station bit we had there, we've cut these, I think they're 5-ply pieces of wood, which are going to sit on the top of here. And if I bring you down to this height here, you should be able to see there's going to be a slight overhang once they're central on each side, just to give sort of that's an added bit of realism, get this slightly closer to the Lima carriage I've got. So our next thing to do is to fix these on here and see what it looks like in place. You may have seen from the overview shot, we've got a newly built pond here, and the track actually runs from up there all the way down here and around that bend. As mentioned before, the ground's not level, so each piece is bespoke. Each chair has been made to fit the exact height it needs as it goes around, and I'm just in the middle of the first part of the bend here, and as you can see, I've just been doing it chair by chair, working its way around, making sure the track will sit roughly in the middle of each chair as it works its way around. So up there is the exit for from the scenic point, follows it all the way down the side of the pond here, back round the back underneath the bushes, down the side here, and then we're back at the station.
A few moments later.
So with the bad weather coming, I thought from the last clip you can see all the wood is yet to be fixed down or treated, but this little section here I decided to complete, just paint it all up with a weatherproofing coat and bolt the top pieces to the chairs, and the chairs get sticking the chairs in the ground. Just as with the rain, I didn't want to leave any wood outside, and I thought as it's all in place it'd be easier just to fix it up rather than put it all away. So from this clip it's clear to see that the station has made some improvements already. As you're aware, I put the top pieces of wood on, I think it was 5-ply wood, on top of the piece that sits in between the two tracks, and now they're all bolted down. All that's left for me to do on this now is to spray paint the sides, the underside of the lip and the sides black, and then the top will get a surface coating of grey Halfords primer, like the car painting primer once that's arrived. So let's go on to spray painting the sides. I included this next clip just to show you guys a rough idea of the height difference in my garden. It's not a very level sort of playing field. As you can see there, it's about roughly from the edge of that brick wall ending to the top of the garden, about 4 centimetre drop. Well, not a drop for the track, but then obviously an increase in the ground, which means as it's gone around this corner here, as you'll see as it works its way up, the chairs underneath get a lot lower till it's flat around the back, and then that will join onto the scenic section running through the flower beds and stuff. I also just wanted to have a look over quickly some coupling ideas I had for to prevent the buffer lock that I was having issues with on some of the tighter curves. Now this is obviously an exaggerated version of what I wanted to do. There's just some Hornby metal coupling bars. They obviously need shortening, but I just wanted to get an idea of whether it would work or not. Other people recommended using paper clips, and I'm also going to try putting plastic discs on the buffers as well to try and reduce to try and increase the size of the buffers without it looking too obvious, so that the buffers don't lock in with each other, and hopefully that will resolve the issue, because everything runs fine when trains are pulling. It's just when pushing have I found the issue to be serious enough that the carriages and rolling stock come off the track. Hi guys, so I'm just sitting here, as you can see, editing the video when I forgot to record a outro while I was in the garden. So I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's who's been subscribing. We're so close now to 1,000 subscribers, which is amazing. And if you did enjoy the video, please leave a comment after you've watched it. Let me know what you think. If you've got any ideas on stopping the buffer lock on the O-gauge stock, that'd be really great. And then hopefully in the next few days my Class 128 in Royal Mail parcels livery will turn up from Rosa Sheffield, and we can get that running on the layout. The weather at the moment isn't great. I had that week of sun, and as I speak at work at the moment, it's tipping it down outside. So hopefully it'll dry up by the weekend, and we can carry on laying some track. But other than that, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.